Hi, I'm Guy Kawasaki. I'm the Chief Evangelist of Canva and the host of the Remarkable People podcast. And I'm really happy to be on the Ochakde podcast and video too. And let's just be remarkable. So let's do this. Let's just do it.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Ochakde Show. I'm your host, Sachin Syal, and I'm a 15-year-old award-winning entrepreneur from the Bay Area. If you're new here, this is a talk show or a podcast where I interview entrepreneurs and inspiring individuals from all walks of life so we can learn from their stories and level up ourselves. The purpose of the show is to inspire you to go for it, which is what Ochakde means. Today, we have an incredibly special guest, Guy Kawasaki, the Chief Evangelist of Canva and the creator of the Guy Kawasaki's Remarkable People podcast. He is an executive fellow of the Haas School of Business, UC Berkeley, and adjunct professor of the University of New South Wales. He was a chief evangelist of Apple and a trustee of the Wikimedia Foundation. He's written Wise Guy, The Art of the Start 2.0, The Art of Social Media, Enchantment, and 11 other books. Guy has a BA from Stanford, an MBA from UCLA, and an honorary doctorate from Babson College. Guy is also a Silicon Valley venture capitalist. So, Guy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Not bad. Not bad. I surfed today, so every day that you can surf is a good day.
Oh, nice. How was the surfing?
It was pretty good today. Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Surfing is really fun. I should probably do that too. But yeah.
Well, if you start at your young age and you like it too much, you will not accomplish anything else in your life, maybe. So if I had started surfing earlier, you would not have me on this show.
I see. Okay. Well, you are on this show, and I'm honored to have you. Say thank you so much for being here. Let's start it off with the first question. Can you explain what a chief evangelist is and what your role is at Canva?
Sure. Evangelism or evangelist comes from a word of bringing the good news. So an evangelist brings the good news. I'm chief evangelist for Canva. I bring the good news of Canva, how it makes you a better communicator because it has democratized graphic design. I used to be the chief evangelist of Apple, and the good news of Apple was that it increased people's creativity and productivity. So what a chief evangelist does is, theoretically, he or she is in charge of bringing the good news for a company.
Got it. And how's it been like being at Canva?
Well, Canva is a rocket, or, well, what's another metaphor? It's a tsunami. And I've been with it for about almost 8 years now. And I mean, it's just doing so well. It has tens of millions of active users, and it's, do you use it by any chance?
Of course, even the thumbnail for this video is going to be made by Canva. Everyone at my school uses Canva. All the students use Canva for their projects. I use it all the time.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So
yeah, I love Canva. It's amazing.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk about what first got you interested in marketing, and how old were you at the time?
Oh my God. I mean, the world is roughly divided into two kinds of people: those who can make stuff and those who can sell stuff. And so I really couldn't make stuff. I'm not an engineer. The closest I've been to an engineer is writing my own book, because writing your own book, you are making a book. So I became sales, marketing, and evangelism. And I can't tell you that there was a specific day where I decided, yes, Guy, you're an evangelist, you're a marketer, you're a salesperson. But in a startup, when people go for it, there really are only two functions. You're either making it or selling it, and that's all that counts. Everything else you can hire, you can subcontract, you can delay, all that stuff, but you got to make it and sell it.
Yep, that's exactly how it works. What do you think, let's see. So do you remember how old you were when you first got that sort of interest, or no?
I think it was probably college. I went to
College.
Stanford, and if you're in the Bay Area and you learn about Hewlett Packard and Intel and National Semiconductor, it sort of is in the air, right? And this is before Steve Jobs, because I was in college from 72 to 76, and I think Apple started in 76. So this is the semiconductor chip days, just prior to the personal computer days, which is before the software days, which is before the internet days, which is before social media days. So that's kind of been the curves that hit Silicon Valley.
Got it. So did you learn marketing by yourself on your own, or did someone coach you and teach you it?
Oh, I mean, I studied marketing. I got an MBA in marketing, but there's only so much you can study. You just basically have to do. And God bless you if you want to study marketing and learn all the theories, especially with social media. If I had to do it all over again, honestly, I would major in behavioral economics, because behavioral economics fundamentally is marketing, although nobody calls it that. And I basically studied it, but I would not say that was the key to my understanding of marketing. It was really doing it. And the ironic story is that I started off, my first job was selling jewelry, fine jewelry, to other jewelry stores. So we were a manufacturer, not a retailer. So our customer was the retailer that sold to the end customer. And that was a great experience. I learned how to, quote, sell. And that experience helped me the rest of my life.
Awesome. I love it. So you were involved. Let's talk about how you got involved in Apple, and like how your experience was when you were doing marketing for the Macintosh computer line in 1984. So how was that like?
Well, that was an honor and a privilege. It was scary working for Steve Jobs, quite frankly, because he would not hesitate to rip you up. But I would not trade that experience for anything. I got the job purely because of nepotism. So my college roommate at Stanford hired me, and I did not have the right academic background nor the right work experience. It was pure nepotism.
I see. Did you what did you have to do for the marketing of the Macintosh, like back in 1984? What was the type of marketing?
I was a software evangelist, so my job was to convince software and hardware companies to make Macintosh products. So I wasn't selling Macintoshes to people. I was selling the dream of Macintosh to developers for them to create Macintosh products.
Got it. I wish I could do that back in then. That seems like such an amazing job to have.
Well, I hope everybody has a chance to work for a company like Apple once in their life. I actually did it twice, but once is good enough.
Yep. Nice. So you're as a marketing specialist, in your opinion, what's the best marketing strategy ever?
Well, that is hard to give you one answer, because it depends on what the product is. It depends on who the customer is. It depends on a lot of variables. But generally speaking, I would say that the key to marketing is affiliating with a great product, because it's very easy to market, sell, and evangelize a great product. It's very hard to market, sell, or evangelize crap. So this sounds like a duhism, but I hope everybody out there is taking notes, man. It is hard to sell crap. So if you can, don't affiliate with crap.
Got it. Okay. So I see, I read up on you, and you've wrote a lot of books. I think, how many is it? It's 15, right?
Yeah.
15 books, yeah. What's your favorite book that you've written yourself, and what's it about?
Oh, well, that's a hard question. I mean, it's like having children. Who's your favorite child?
Okay.
The last book that I wrote is called Wise Guy, and it is a compilation of lessons and stories from my life. And so it's not a memoir, because memoirs and autobiographies are kind of bullshit. It's always somebody telling a story of how great he or she was and did everything right. And that's hardly the case for me. It's hardly the case for anybody, actually. So these are just stories that illustrate concepts that I think people should learn from.
Hmm. Nice. Do you think teenagers could also read Wise Guy? Is it meant for like what age
For
group?
sure. I mean, maybe more so than adults.
Okay, nice. I will check that book out. What's like, I mean, you've met probably in your entire career a lot of people in a lot of different places you've gone to and different things you've done. What's the best advice that you've ever received?
Oh my, probably don't ask people to do something that you wouldn't do. Now, this assumes you're not a psychopath or nutcase. But, whether it's your customer, your vendors, your partners, your co-founders, your employees, your prospects, anything, never ask them to do something you wouldn't do. And I think a lot of companies break that, and they expect their customers, take a simple thing like CAPTCHA, right? So nobody likes CAPTCHA, and when you encounter CAPTCHA, you hate it, but still, you make your customers do it. Why?
Okay, yeah. So it's don't make someone do something that you wouldn't do.
Again, with the assumption that you're not a psychopath. Yes.
Okay, got it. So these are the last two questions that I asked all my guests as we wrap up here. The first one is, what's your best advice for teens?
My best advice for teens is, when people tell you what's your passion, you should answer, maybe for the next 10 or 20 years of your life, I don't know. That people put too much pressure on themselves to, quote unquote, find their life's calling and passion. And they think, oh, I'm 18 years old and I haven't found my passion yet. And my friend's passion is violin, and my other friend's passion is calculus, and my other friend's passion is tennis. And why haven't I found my passion? Listen, I'm 68. I'm not sure what my passion is yet. So what you should do is you should pursue interests. Something is interesting to you, and you pursue a lot of interests. Many of them will not pan out, but every once in a while you'll find something that really captivates you, and then you pursue that even harder. And knock on wood, one of those interests will become a passion. But don't set yourself up for failure. And don't let your parents tell you, oh my goodness, son or daughter, you're almost out of high school and you still haven't discovered your passion. I guarantee you, your parents did not discover their passion in high school. Maybe they have never discovered their passion, but don't rush this. It'll happen when it happens.
I love that, and I totally agree with you. The last question of the day is, what was your favorite part of being on the show?
Let's see. My favorite part of being on the show is I can talk about evangelism. So, and you know what? I'm going to do the ad for my podcast right now.
Do it. Talk
live
about Guy Kawasaki's The Remarkable People podcast right now. Let's do it.
Okay. So I'm the host of a podcast called Remarkable People. And as the host, I view it as my mission to help you become remarkable. And I have interviewed about 160 remarkable people. And I don't mean, Joe Blow of Blow Consulting, who wrote the book, The Blow Away. I mean Jane Goodall, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Steve Wozniak, Angela Duckworth, Ronnie Lott, Christy Yamaguchi, Andrew Zimmern. I have interviewed the most remarkable people in their fields Vivek Murthy, the Surgeon General of the United States right now. And this podcast is not about me. If you looked at if you did a word count, it's probably 80% them and 20% me. So my role is to get the information out of them about how to be remarkable so that you can learn from these remarkable people. And if you are a student, I tell you, I think that I have the most information from remarkable people compiled in the universe right now on my podcast.
Awesome. Yeah, I listened to the Remarkable People podcast. I've checked out some episodes. You have huge guests on. That's really cool. It's like actual remarkable people, and I'm proud that I get to get a remarkable person on my podcast, which is you today. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this, Guy. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. All the best. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.